YouTube is sending data. Holders only sending data. All right, we're streaming on X. Holders only section is streaming. And YouTube is streaming. All right, nice. Maybe no hood. It's making a muffle sound on my headphone. Okay, yeah. There we go. So X is live, holders only section live. YouTube is live. Is alive. Okay. Now we share this with the peeps. Good morning, everybody. Oh, I look crazy to people. I'm just like looking around. I have a really wide monitor, so I'm just like, let's see here. That when we on this too over here. Go. Yeah, I'm super in the zone this morning. Apart from taking out the garbage cans because it's garbage day, and having to bust up all the ice that was on the walkway. Been pretty much in the zone. Like being in the zone. Alrighty, yeah, we're good to go, IT. Whenever you're good to go, I'm going to probably multitask and turn around and work on some code. But I'll be listening in if anything.
Sure, sure. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Nice.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me share. Take some stuff off the screen and share my screen.
Yep. Nice. What kind of music are you playing today?
You here?
All right, cool.
How's the volume?
I think it's good. Yeah, sweet. Maybe a little too loud.
All right.
Maybe just a little bit too loud. It's got a kind of comes through quite a bit.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's good. Nice.
Awesome. Okay. Let's
Alrighty. Huh.
let's start with the dollar index, shall we? Okay. So let's go on the high time frame, see what's happening. So on the high time frame, we're expecting lower prices to 106.98. We had a rejection. I think we spoke about this already. Now we do have a fair value gap here, so we're going to be expecting this fair value gap to hold and then send price lower. Hence, it's either today is going to reject this fair value gap, or they're going to close today bullish, and then tomorrow we will reject the fair value gap. So we can start watching from the 1 hour time frame to anticipate sellers coming in, right? So if you want to see smart money come in, then they're gonna print their pattern. So this is the fair value gap on the daily. they've now touched it. Now we have potentially one down candle here and then 2 up candles. So we're going to start monitoring the reversal from these candles going forward. So this will be our first clue. Once we break this down candle, then we start looking for price to resume going lower. Until then, we are going to just keep watching price, right? I'm not actually short on the majors. As a matter of fact, I took some decent trade on some of the crosses, which I will share with you all very, very soon. And I think I gave one yesterday. Um, so yes, dollar index can take out this high because there's nothing in here. We do have a nice fair value gap that formed. I think there's a series of them. So all these down candles here, they formed during the time that I said if we form a gap, they're going to be powerful. So that's the New York session or London close, and this is the New York session or London. I'm sorry, yeah, New York opening, and then this is London close. So all these gaps, okay, can act as a potential resistance, and the price will break down and go lower. Hence, we can highlight all of these. So anywhere in here, price is likely to reject and then we resume going lower. And start watching any down candle with an up movement. That's basically going to be your breaker. Okay. Moving forward, that brings us to euro. Euro, we didn't have any gap in here. So I think it's the same thing, opposite to what the dollar index is doing. So watch this whole area right here, and then anticipate a buy pattern forming to resume going back up again. All right, so basically wait for a buy to come in and then we start looking for the longs. Now with British pound, we did have a news. I think it was rate announcement on British pound. Now if you don't follow Forex Factory and check the high impact news, I do recommend you do, because if you're not aware of the high impact news that are going to come into the market, you are going to fall victim for a big move that will unfold and you will not be sure why that move actually unfolded. So we did have rate announcement on GBP today. The previous was 4.75%. Now the actual rate is 4.50% or 4.5%. So they've decreased the rate announcement by 25 point base, if that's the right term. Right, so GBP has reduced their interest rate from 4.7 to 4.5, and that's what caused this big drop. Okay, so if you're seeing that big drop, it actually came in at 12:30. So that candle was as if the result of that news. Okay, so where we are now, I'm expecting maybe buyers to come in. I don't think we should be going all the way back down to this week's low. So we can use the H4 range, and either buyers are going to come in where we are, or they can go a little bit more down to this one and buyers will come in. So you can basically start watching the lower time frame for the buy pattern to form. We do have this up candle with this drop. So where we are now looks like a decent level for a buy to happen. If it does not happen here, then the next level will be down here. All right. Now the question will be, should I buy here or buy there? It's up to you. If we pull the fib, as long as we are at OTE for, I would say, swing trades or short-term trading, that'd be a good, I think we're aiming for this high. So that would be a good area to buy. But I personally don't buy like this anymore. Okay, I wait for some form of a confirmation. But this can be an entry and this can be an entry. So in the past, this would be me actually entering long here. And if you drop here, I'll enter long. And if it does not work out, boom, I get stopped out. But now what I do is different. I actually wait for some form of a confirmation and then I will get in. So maybe either they're gonna give me a buy like this and then I buy here, or they're gonna go up and then I buy there. That's how I buy. I'll not buy this way. This is like catching a falling knife, and it can be very, very dangerous buying a falling knife. Okay. So yeah. Basically wait, let them give you a buy pattern. If you don't have time to be in front of the screen, then obviously you can do that. But if you have time, then wait patiently. Let them give you some form of a confirmation. Then you can look for your buy. Okay. Um, I think we've already talked about Euro. Let's look at Aussie. So Aussie, it has a little bit of strength compared to the other majors. And I think I mentioned why yesterday. There will be some strength in the Aussie. Hence, if you want to trade the Euro Aussie or the Pound Aussie, right? And this money actually gave it to the our members on the Discord. I gave it as a trade, not a trade idea, but I was pointing to them where price was going. So when I woke up, I think price was here around 7, and straight away I knew that was a pullback to this down candle on the H4, this big down candle on the H4. Hence, price was gonna come into this fair value gap or below it. So I gave it to them that they should be trading to this gap, and that's where I basically had my my TP. So I sold not today, I sold yesterday right in here on the zooming right in here. That was a sell. I don't need to go to the lower time frame. Why? Because it's a red candle and it formed during the time of the day I talked about. It formed during the kill zone, right? The New York kill zone. So that's a powerful order block, right? It came there again, same candle, and then price rejected, right? Initially, I was watching this gap for the low to form, but something that um, you need to understand is when it comes to trading the currencies, time of the day is a very crucial thing. I'm not sure about it on the cryptocurrencies, but when it comes to the fiat currencies, the Forex, you need to understand time of the day is very, very crucial. So we don't do anything outside. I think I have a different session. We don't do anything outside um, between 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. in the London time zone. So if you put your time on London, between 5 a.m. London to 5 p.m. London, that's basically the day. Anything outside that, you're not interested in it. Okay, so if price trades to a level outside that time window, let me put that indicator there so you can, let me see if I have it over here. Yeah, I have it over here. Buy indicators. and then activate this one. So that's that one, right? So I have a shaded area, which is the blue area. Let me turn this one off so you can see it. So this shaded area, that's the blue, right? So it starts from 5 and it ends at 5. Edit it quickly. It's meant to be 5 to 5. I think I've not edited it because I'm used to seeing it on the charts. But when the time the daylight savings changed, I've not actually changed it. I need to move it back to 1 hour forward and then 1 hour back. But essentially, that's the time window you want to be doing all your trading inside that. Anything outside it, you're not interested because that if price trades to a level during that time of the day, it will not respect it. So you need to have that understanding. So here, the reason why, yes, the gap formed, this gap here formed during a hill zone, time of the day that is very powerful, but the time that price trade to it is not good. I don't think there'll be someone sitting there thinking, I want to trade this time, right? So it went up till 5 a.m. Then it moved away from the key level. Okay. When it comes to the forex market, the time of the day is essential. You need to respect it, right? So that was the trade I took yesterday, and then price went down, came back up, and then down again. There was another trade that I gave yesterday. So same thing. Yesterday, I told you to sell here, the gap on the H4, and then aim for this equal low. Initially here as a partial level, and then ultimately there. Right. So that is still on course. We have created a nice gap right here. So maybe during this New York session, if we happen to pull back into it, it can be used as a area to sell short and then anticipate a continuation to the downside. I like the fact they've kind of engineered this low and that low. So we want to see a rejection from there and then attack that low. Okay. So that is that for the crosses, the trade ideas that basically I expected most of you to trade it. Okay. Let's look at Euro Pound because something interesting has happened on Euro Pound. From the weekly perspective, we actually came back down in a pullback, and on the daily, we had a gap down into this last down candle, which is where, if we are going to reverse, that is exactly where we needed to reverse from. We didn't need price to close below this candle's high. And then on H4, they manipulated price buy pattern to happen right there. Okay, so I'm expecting Euro Pound to go back up. I'm expecting Euro Pound to go back up, provided we have 40 minutes. That candle can stay above this up candle. If you can stay above it, then I think Euro Pound will go back up here. Now, there is a seasonal move that happens on Euro Pound every year. And I think the first time I came across the seasonal tendencies, it brings back memories. The first time I came across the seasonal tendencies, I was not patient enough. Between the 7th of February, I think between 7th of February and 24th of February, every year, that's meant to be the case. Every year, Euro Pound is meant to go up. So this faithful year, 2020, that's when like I said, I actually graduated from ICT mentorship. So I was fired up. I was looking to get my FTMO account going. And I happened to have this seasonal 7th of February, I'm gonna buy Euro Pound and it's gonna go up. But um, unfortunately, they did the buy on me on that week. So the 7th of February, if we go back to 2020, I'm trying to teach you something here about the seasonal tendency, why it's so powerful. So here, I think right there. So the 7th of February was there, right? So instead of price going up from here, because I saw the move down with the rejection, go back, the value gap, 7th of February. It's a seasonal move that the Euro Pound does. Like if you pay attention, it's every year, but sometimes it might not play out. Okay, so I was expecting it to go up. And that particular week, they wiped me out. They wiped me out, and I blew my FD on my account, and then I had to buy a new one. Um, Once it started rejecting, I think it was in here, then I bought it again because it rejected this low, trading through the gap. So it traded through the gap. So the moment we closed above it, this candle was a pullback to buy, and then that buy that I was expecting. So this move is what I was expecting to happen here. And then they manipulated and then it happened there. Okay, so the buy is actually on the 7th, but it took another week for them to do the buy. So the same thing is what I'm gonna be anticipating this year here. But it seems we have a nice dealing range for them to not manipulate again. Hence, going forward, I'm gonna anticipate this to continue going up. All right. And we just need this H4 to close bullish, and then this is nice equal high, so you can start looking for potential longs to go up in here. Okay, and now when that happens, I think you can switch your attention to the pound pairs. Pound pairs are going to be weak, so pound or Aussie, I think they might come for this clean equal lows in here, and then pound New Zealand will also come for this clean equal lows in here. Okay, so going forward, you can look for trade ideas on the pound pairs. You can still sell the euro and the euro New Zealand, but the best one would be to focus on the pound pairs based on what is happening now. Okay, the confirmation. We always wait for confirmation. I was under the impression they might go for this equal low first, because if we are going to reverse, it needs to happen at OTE. So this is 618, this is 79, and this is 70.5. So this level to that's where price needs to reverse from. Okay, so I wanted to see, this was not the way I want to see a reversal. If we manipulate down, it should go back up straight away, not like this. So I was anticipating one more run down, take out these lows, and then a rejection to start coming back up. That's why I gave the Euro Aussie, because I was expecting a continuation. But now that they've confirmed they're going higher, yes, Euro Aussie will go down, but it will take time. The one that will go down with speed is going to be the pound Aussie and then the pound New Zealand. You can also add pound yen, pound CAD, and all the pound pairs. Okay, so yeah, that's that for those pairs. Let's look at gold. So gold, yesterday I said, sit on your hands and wait. Let this candle close above that. Let this close as a down candle first, and let the next candle close above it second. Then you look for the buy. That did not happen. However, I did get some scalp going because we talked about gaps that forms during a kill zone. That was a nice gap. So this was a nice move into it during the kill zone, and then price expanded up, right? So basically, I got some scalp going on in here. Funny enough, I did not take profit because I was anticipating that candle to finish as an up candle closing above the H4. So I was expecting a buy that I got this candle to close above it, and then we resume going higher, and then we came right back down. So it stopped me out at break even essentially, because where I got in came right back, and then it stopped me out at break even. So I did let that go, and then this morning, as this candle dropped, all that I did was the same thing. If you look on the 5 minute chart, I still have it drawn. I gave a nice buying pattern in here, and then got in, got out, just a scalp. So I'm still waiting for the H4 to give the confirmation that we are going higher. Then basically you can look for the buy. I like the fact that they've traded into this, right? So we just need something like that to close above a down candle, and then we are good to go. All right. So patience, patience, patience. Let price give you the confirmation, and then you can start looking for your trade ideas. Crude oil. I think crude oil is still playing around, so we are not doing anything yet. We are still gonna wait. Okay, so have patience for it. I think the weekend is what we will have to wait for, because the daily is not doing much. The daily is just playing around. So I would want to see how the week is gonna end. Maybe Friday, tomorrow is NFP. Maybe they're gonna use that. Now, if we are to go up, we don't need price to go down again, because we've already traded to this candle's high. So that's the gap. We've already traded to it. Plus, on the daily, we've traded to another gap in here. So by default, the way I like to see price, it's here. It's either here or nothing. And we are forcing price to give us a buy. We are forcing buyers to come in here. That's why you can see it's struggling to go through that level. Because if we don't go up from here, then maybe they will come and wipe all these lows. Okay. If we don't go up from here, then they'll be coming back down to wipe all these lows, and that will not be fun. And that will put the potential seasonal move to the upside that happens on the crude oil every year. We'll put it to the backside, right? But I think something will happen. So let's see. Okay. Because I like the fact that we have this H4 up candle and then this move down, or just this up candle with this 3 move down. And if you look closely, they've closed above this gap. So there are signs of potential buyers coming in, but at least we need a big move, one big move away from here. Then we can start enjoying some nice big up move to come back up. Okay. Let's look at ES. So ES, I'm still in that trade. Not closed yet, because like I said, to me, they're gonna come back up here. So that's where I'm targeting. Yesterday was Wednesday, right? Yeah, yesterday I had a private session with my student. And we basically looked for a buy. She bought as a form of a lesson studying. She bought over here. And then we targeted this equal high. So we bought down here, and then we targeted that equal high. And there was another buy over here. As you can see, I've marked it out. That happened. So we have this down candle. On a lower time frame, there was a run down with a rejection, go back, buy, and then price never look back. Okay. Now, this afternoon, I think if you look on the 1 hour time frame, it's looking like they bought here. Okay. So with the next up candle, 29 minutes, you want it to go up at least to close above. I think they've already closed. So we are likely to go up, but since it's a new day, I want to see them close above this. I want to see them close above. Trying to get that line perfect. Comes in at 6105. If we can close above it on the 1 hour basis and at least leaving a gap during this time of the day. Okay, so you can start paying attention to how price move by listening to what I say. So if you're gonna go up, right, you want at least a gap to form during the time, this time. Okay, and then that will give us a nice support level. In case any price movement comes back down again, we can use it and buy to continue going higher. Okay, so that is that for the ES. Let's move on to the crypto world. So A1, AI16. I think AI16 on the monthly chart, it looks like they're gonna come for 20. Let me see what price it is. 25.62 at this level. Why is that? Since price did not reject that up candle that formed on the daily here. Remember I was saying, if this candle does not go up, then there's a problem. Why? Because then it will be a redistribution. Hence, it will be the up candle, down, then we're going to anticipate the reversal again. This will be a decent level because on the monthly chart, it's actually a fair value gap. Is that. Okay, so that's a gap. Hence, that will be where we are likely to go up from. So once we have the up candle and it fails to give us the move, we don't anticipate that this will be the up, then the move down, then we expect price to go up. So watch this area right in here. It's just below that low. Okay, right in there. So it comes in at, let's say 24, 32, 35, right there, or just below 25.62. Anywhere in there, we want to see a big rejection coming. Now, it needs to be aggressive, big up candles. That's the only way we can know that they are in. And once we start getting them, man, this thing is gonna fly, right? If we start getting this type of candles to appear here, this thing is gonna fly. And I believe it needs to come in where we are because we are very, very cheap. And I don't believe this is gonna go to zero. As I said, I've done a bit of research on what it is, and I believe that it has a potential to go back up. So if you're a long term, I don't believe that you're supposed to be buying this expecting it to go up tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, but don't buy it and expect it to go up within the next 1 week or 2 weeks. But you're buying and expecting them to go up within the next 1 month, 2 months. That's the holder's mentality. Okay? If you're buying and you expect it to move up, I don't know, within the next 1 week, then you can see that the candles does not print big candles within even the week. So it will take time for the turnaround to happen. And when the turnaround happens, that's when you're gonna take price one day at a time, expecting them to keep closing above previous day's high and at least minimum leaving fair value gaps behind. So it might turn maybe something like this, or it might turn something like this aggressively, right? So the key is just patience, all right? And then eventually you're gonna start smiling. It's low, it's high, we are extremely low, okay? So it's still cheap. For those that couldn't buy when we were rejecting this, you even got a cheaper price now. Remember, think like a smart money, think like an investor, don't think like a trader or the average trader, because the average trader will not see this as a discount. They will see this as this is dropping. But if you are an investor or a smart money or an institution, this is a cheap price. It's a good thing. It's not bad. Even if it comes to 10, even much better. Okay. If it's up here, that's too expensive. If it's here, it's very cheap. Okay, think like that when it comes to the chart. This is Solana. So Solana, yesterday I was giving this trade idea to a friend of mine to get into Solana to come and attack this high. It did reject a level that I was watching on the 1 hour time frame and created a H4. I was watching this gap, right? That happened. I'm not really sure about the time of the day when it comes to the crypto market. However, it seems that every now and then it seems to work. So why not? Let's use it. There's a gap here that formed during the time that I spoke about, and then we got a rejection, right? My entry was to enter here, this candles, and I expect it to go up, but they traded down. Now, someone did ask the question: does time has any effect on cryptos, like the forex market? When I was saying we need to look at price from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. That is it the same on cryptos? And the answer is I don't know, because I'm not really someone that has been trading cryptos for a long time. So I don't know whether maybe some banks will be trading it during this time of the day. But when it comes to the forex market, yes, there are banks that actually trade at a specific time of the day, or there are some institutions that trade at a specific time of the day. Okay, but when it comes to cryptos, I'm not sure. So I don't know whether the gaps that form, I just use them because it's just price action. But with currencies, time is very, very key. You need to respect time, like New York session, like London session, like London close. I think it's the same for cryptos, but I will not put a hard core yes on it. Okay. So on the H4, we did actually close above this down candle, and I want to expect them to respect it. I expect them to respect this and then trade higher. That's my expectation. Okay, I don't know whether that's going to be the case, because on the weekly I didn't explain why that should happen. Let me get rid of these numbers because they're too big. On the weekly time frame, I did explain why, right? We want the week to end up as a rejection, not as a close. So based on that, we don't want to see price come back down here yet, at least not today or not the rest of the week. Maybe we will go back up. Maybe we go back up and then maybe come back down, because this has created a low, but not this week. Okay. So based on that logic, the fact that we are rejecting this low, the fact that we've come to a high resistance area, and we've got this rejection. Now this, expect it to hold, then go up and attack this one. Okay, so that's what I'm anticipating on the Solana. Bitcoin, I think the same thing. We need to hold this gap if you're going to stay above the previous week low. You need to respect this, and I pointed to this level as well. As it stands, I think it can go back up because of how we are rejecting. Because of how we are rejecting that gap. Okay, I think we should go back up. Now, is that going to be the case? Based on the daily, like I said yesterday, it doesn't make sense to me that price is printing this type of candles. And at times, it will do that, and you have to switch to the high time frame. So the ideas right now are based on the fact that we are rejecting. If my chart will move, is based on the fact that we are rejecting the previous week low. So we need price to stay above the previous week low. That's basically what I'm anticipating. So it's not about the lower time frame price action. It's all about the high time frame one. Okay, so I'm giving the analysis based on the high time frame. So the lower time frame might not work. The lower time frame might not work, but the high time frame will, because all I need the high time frame to do is basically stay above the previous week low. Okay, and that would be a good thing, because then next week we can anticipate them minimum coming for the previous week high. Okay, so in all fairness, it would be best to trade actually not this week, let this week go and then trade next week. But most traders cannot do that, and they cannot say, I have one I have one student, private student, that we were doing a backtesting session today, and based on the backtesting, where we look for trade ideas to form, if price is going counter trend, for example, we're looking at Euro Aussie, and Euro Aussie was in a downtrend, right, in a down range on the monthly chart, and the price came back up here, and the price rejected and is going back down. And based on what I thought, all of you, that if we have something like this, sometimes they can engineer this as equal low, go up, take out some stops, and then come back down. So as we're doing the back testing, the question also, am I going to sit on my hands throughout all this? Right? Am I not going to do anything whilst all this is happening? And I said, it's up to you. If you want to trade, you can trade, but just know that we're expecting price to come down here. So if it's going up and it's manipulation, you want to trade it. If you want to trade it, it's up to you. So same thing here. What I'm expecting is that the weekly, because on the daily it's not making sense. So the weekly needs to stay above this low. If you want to trade, you drop down to the lower time frame. You can trade, but is it going to work? I don't know. Okay, so based on the high time frame, that is what will make sense. This a rate here. Then next week, anticipating price coming above this high, it's going to be more or less the probability of price doing it is higher, and you have a more probability of taking a profitable trade than trading this week, because this week we don't know whether it's going to reject or it's going to come back down below the previous week low. But next week, by the time this week closes, then we have more data to prove, to confirm that yes, we are likely to come and attack the previous week high. Okay, so the same thing applies to Ethereum. But I've said several times, if I was to be trading, this is not a pair that I would be wasting my time to even analyze. Okay, but again, some people will still want to trade it. So the same idea goes for Ethereum. The daily is in the mess. So if you want to trade, you can drop down, take some trades based on gap, or block, and stuff like that. But don't expect too much, because they're not going to do a lot during this week. hype. So hype, they did give you a sell pattern in here, as I mentioned yesterday. Just sit on your hands and wait for a sell pattern to form. You want to sell up in that range, and they gave you a sell pattern in here. And price rejected. Now, let's go into, because I want to teach something a little bit here. Let's go to the lower time frame and see how you could have got a trade out of this, because it's just a pattern. It's gonna form everywhere. First and first, if I'm on the H4, I'll be entering short here. So if I was using the H4, I'll be entering short here, this candle. Why is that? Because you have this down, then you have all this up, taking out this high with a fair value gap, and then price closing below it. So it's either you're gonna sell this new fair value gap, or you're gonna sell any run above a high here. So this candle will be good, or just sell this candle, okay, and then expect price now move lower. Or if you understood what I mean by selling up in here, this red shaded area, and buying down in here, then as price is approaching it, okay, you can start monitoring from the 1 hour time frame to the 15 minutes time frame. You're gonna start looking for the sell pattern. So yesterday, as we were having our session, we had this down candle, we had this up, and then we had this up, leaving what? The value gap. And then we trade through it. You're gonna sell this one, or the down candle. Once we break that down candle, this candle's low, or the opening price, you're gonna sell that and anticipate price going down. Or if you don't want the 1 hour time frame, you can use the 15 minutes. The 15 minutes will have this down candle. We have this move up, leaving a fair value gap. They close through the fair value gap here, and then you sell the pullback to it again, and you aim for lower prices. Or you can use a 5 minute chart. If you're using the 5 minute chart, I think if I zoom in, it'll be this down, this up, and then the break. But 5 minutes is too much, so I think the 15 minutes will be the best. And if I was doing it, if I was trading this, I think I'll use the 15 minutes, because the 15 minutes is decent, right? Now, if you look over here, the question is, would I have used any sell pattern in here? And would I have got stopped out? Yes, I could have probably used this one on the 15 minutes. I could have used this down, this up, and then this fair value gap, and then they break through it. I'll sell short, stop close here, and I would have got this, but I would have anticipated them to go lower, not come back and then stop me out, right? And then you create another one in here and you sell short. Okay, so that is that. That's how you could have got an entry if you trade hype. Ripple, let's go to the weekly first. So with Ripple, I really want to see this week reject this low. That'll be much better. Or if it ends up like this, it's not bad, then we will have to just sit a little bit more before we get a confirmation. But if we can close the week back above the previous week high, then we don't need the next week to finish trading before we can get an entry. We can start getting at least a trade to come and attack the previous week high. If we close like this, then we need one more week to give us a confirmation like this. We need a weekly to close. Then we can expect higher prices. Because if we close like this, there's a high probability next weekend there will be another down candle based on simple logic. The algorithm will check the previous candle's close to the current candle close, and then we'll print the same candle, which will be a downward. But if we can reject the low, then it will not. Okay. So if it's not, then we need the candle to close like this so that we will have a change in the state of delivery. The closing price will be here, and then the next closing price will be above this side. That's when we can look for the buy. Okay. So this week we must absolutely reject this candle's low. If not, then we have to sit a little bit longer and wait. Unless you believe price is gonna go lower, then next week you're gonna sell short. But I don't believe that. Okay, I personally don't believe price is gonna go lower, hence I'm not gonna be selling. If you believe it, then by all means go ahead and sell, which in all honesty, you're not wrong. If we close like this, you're gonna anticipate a sell. But based on my understanding price, the fact that we've rejected these lows means they only came to attack the lows to clear out stops. So there's no need to come back down here again. Because if they did want to go lower, this candle will absolutely will close more bearish than just this wick. Okay, so next week, if it close like this, next week you're more than welcome to look for sell, but I'll just be sitting on my hands and waiting to see how the week will close, and then I'll take a decision from there. All right. Lastly, let's go to tool.
Hey, that's all.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I had to like go over and hit unmute.
Anyway, so I think, as I said yesterday, I think they're gonna come and attack the previous week low, which is here. And it's a good thing because we have this up, this down, and the down. And I like the fact that we are printing it down without touching the previous candle's low, so that gives us a fair value gap or a gap. Okay. Now, when we are doing that, that can be the buy. Why? Because if they are buying, we want the candles to be aggressive. Gaps are signs of aggressive candles because the candles are closing far away from the previous candle's low. Okay, so today, if we can close maybe below this low, that'd be fantastic. Then you have one up, three down, and you want to see some institution come in and hoop it up. Right, so that's what I'm watching for. So if you want to trade the tool today, you're aiming for 0.0053 as a downside objective. In the lower time frame, I think they're going below this up candle. We have a H4 gap here. So definitely is equal low that will be taken, not can, will be taken. Okay, so if you want to scalp it, that's entirely up to you. If you don't want to do that and you want to sit on your hands and wait for the buyers to come in, you are free to do that as well. You choose what you want to do. Me, I'll sell it to attack the low, and then I'll be done, and I'll sit on my hands and wait for buyers to come in. That's what I'll do. I don't know about you, so I'll leave the choice to you. And with that, I think I am done.
Alrighty, nice. Nice, very nice, very nice. Sweet session. I was listening in and looking over every once in a while, taking some notes because I can't help it. But yeah, just having fun over here as well, just being in the zone, coding away. Uh, yeah, you know, yeah. I don't really want to get into stuff, but There's tons of things to update. I'd rather finish a few things off and get some confirmations and guarantees before saying more. So with that, why don't we just end the session? And unless IT, you wanted to expand on anything?
No, that's all for now. I think we are working so hard in the background trying to get stuff going. So we'll end it here and then we go back and then work hard to bring all the good stuff.
Yeah, nice. All right, folded hands.
All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you
Yeah.
same time tomorrow.